I come from a background with many cultural barriers, but none bigger than being a young woman unable to find other positive role models in someone from my own gender who were visible enough to give me a sense of direction and to inspire me. I was a 29-year-old woman from South Waziristan Agency looking for work while raising my growing family, and none were available. In utter distress, I did what any of us would do. I went on Google and I typed in different variations of how to work online from home, and this is how I found about digital freelancing through a website called Odesk, which has since gone on to rebrand itself as Upwork. I started doing tasks like article writing, search engine optimization, data entry. Soon word spread, and other women started to approach me for similar work. These were young students trying to earn a pocket money, young women looking to supplement their household income, wives of bureaucrats and army officers whose husbands were posted in far-flung areas and they were looking for ways to spend their time in a positive manner. The tasks started to change as word spread. So in addition to what I was doing, I started getting demands for website developers, for research assistants, for graphic designers. And the pool of our clients also diversified from the clients that we found on Odesk to organizations such as INSEAD, such as Young Presidents Organization or the YPO, and Quora, the very famous Q&A website. The business model of Women's Digital League to bring this dormant workforce of educated Pakistani women back into the job market was really appreciated. And not only did it earn me a spot on the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Women program by the US State Department, but also got us featured on BBC, CNBC, Ashoka, Forbes, and many others. Now, Pakistan has seen a slow but steady rise in its literacy levels. But bringing women into the workforce is a massive, massive challenge still. Now, I want to give a disclaimer. I'm not referring to the roughly 1% of women who enjoy the privilege of seeking higher education and going and pursuing a career of their choice. I'm talking about the majority here. In a very deeply patriarchal society where honor is held above everything else, for a male member to allow a female member of her household to go out to seek work is oftentimes seen as his inadequacy to provide for the family. There are several cultural barriers, and the law and order situation is less than ideal. This brings me also to another set of people or demographic, which are less conservative families and are more open to letting their women go outside and work. But the problem comes when they start defining what constitutes respectable employment opportunities for women. So you see a lot of women going into medicine and becoming teachers. Moreover, typically what happens is that a lot of girls right after graduating from colleges and universities get married, and then the next 10 years are spent on raising their families, and there's no time for a career. Now, what is the solution to this? We could provide opportunities to women which respect their cultural norms, but at the same time allows them to grow and hone their skills and utilize them. And one option is online work. So if I divide my work journey into 3 phases, the first one would be where I saw a problem, which was educated women wanting to work, not being able to work, not having the opportunities, and bringing them back into the job market. My solution was creating a social enterprise called the Women's Digital League, which not only started to guide women in how to work online, but also started connecting them to positive computer-based work. This was done with the help of allies and different visionary organizations, such as the Karakoram Area Development Organization, that built 8 ICT training centers in the remote northern regions of Pakistan, and the World Bank, that piloted the first digital livelihood training program in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. This brings me to the second part, but remember when I mentioned right at the beginning that young women don't have any role models who were other strong women who had visibility that you could look up to and get inspired from. So this is where Women's Digital League said, we have achieved the first goal, which was bringing women and giving them the opportunities to work, but now we want something more. We want greater visibility. The first criticism we hear when we talk about gender inclusion or visibility is, oh, so you're advocating for tokenism. You want mere optics. While contrarily, all research shows that when workplaces are more gender inclusive, they have more women working as part of the workforce, and women are provided with equal opportunities to grow, those workplaces are more efficient. So diversity is directly proportional to more successful companies. Now, programs like Code Girls, Women in Tech, Standard Chartered Women in Tech, and She Loves Tech are some of the examples of organizations that are working for inclusion of women in the tech sector specifically, and saying that we're not just happy with bringing women into the workforce, we also want them to be seen. Also, Facebook groups like Women in Tech, PK, with 5,000 strictly curated members, prove again that women in tech in Pakistan are more than just a mere token. This brings me to the third part, which is where I'm stuck presently, and it's a problem that I'm trying to solve, and I would be happy to hear your thoughts on how to solve it. And that is the problem of changing mirrorocracies to actual meritocracies. You see, the gender bias that we see in our households actually is also visible and present in the boardrooms. So where is this Pakistani girl going to find this strong female role model when in such a toxic culture of forced conformity and gender bias? Even when women do find their place in the boardrooms, it is at the immense cost of conforming to old boys clubs. And this must change. Privilege comes in many forms, but none is worse than when a man shames a woman for being a woman. Now, the solution is not simple. It never is when the stakes are this high. Every day, I, along with with like-minded women and men, I would like to say, have taken on to social media, to public forums, to conferences organized by big names, to corporate boardrooms, and we have taken on the task of demanding that women be given equal opportunities in leadership roles and policy decisions. The work that we do is so important because we do not want another generation of young women to grow up without those positive role models from amongst other women to aspire to and to fight for the right to equal opportunities. Thank you.